today's video, I'm going to show you how you can turn this into this. So stay tuned. Photo frame. One right here. It's the Sannahed. Sannahed. 35 by 35 centimeter hollow frame. And we're gonna turn this picture frame into a tiny shelf. So first off, we've got to take the plastic off of the frame so we can start disassembling every bit here. So we'll get into it now and we'll start peeling away the plastic filming around the whole frame. You can get this frame from Ikea. You go other places as well, but this is where we got ours from. If you want to use the exact one. So we're going to need to pop the backboard off here. So we're going to fold back each of the frame pins that are holding down the board, depending on which one you get, depending on how much you need. So we'll take that off, and they're pretty good quality, so being IKEA. So we'll just take all this stuff apart now, take all the different layers and everything, and now we've got the plastic film which we want to use for the outer side, not the inside, to protect and store everything. So we'll take that out there. We're just going to peel this off here, and it's a bit tricky. It's sticking to it, but it helps protect it, for you however you want to use it. So I'll get that off there. Then remember, it's got two sides. Depending on what frame you get, it may not have any protective film on it, but this one's got double-sided, so gotta take both of those off there. We've got it here. We want to take out the little insert from the shadow box frame. So just going to push that out there. And once we've got that out, this is what we want to work with. So there we go. So as you can see, there's a lip to the edge there where it sits against. So now we've got this, and we want to actually break it into 4 pieces. So this is where you're going to be careful. You don't want to get too carried away and snap anything too much. So we're just going to squeeze and pop each one bit by bit. And there's another one there. Just fold that one back. And these usually come apart pretty easy, but you can mess it up if you're not careful enough. So we got that there, and there's the last one there. You can see a little bit of a defect there, but it's not too big of an issue. So now we've got the 4 of those. This is where the fun begins. So we just want to get those, and you can kind of see the length of how they are, but we want to use these for the inserts. Alright, so now we've got the frame, and we want to put the plastic back in, so we close off the front end. This is actually important. You want to actually have one of the pieces, and you want to put it across the side. It doesn't matter if it's left or right, but we're going to put it on the left-hand side just to help with the structure of the build. So we're going to get the other piece, and we want to put it up against that, just so it reaches the distance from left to right-hand side. But you don't want it to be too tight or too loose. So we want to see where we want to put these ones. So we've got one, we've got a second one, and we're going to look at a third one as well. And just get a rough idea of like the positioning and spacing. Alright, so now we've figured out kind of a rough idea of where and what we've got. We've got to see the tension between where these sit, because you've got a stretch point where, as you can see here, the middle's kind of being pushed out by the two top and the bottom pieces, affecting the middle to stretch out so that there's no actual tension pulling in on the center. This is what you don't want to have with your shelf. So we want to actually measure up here and space out exactly where we want them to sit. So this takes a little bit of maths to do to get a nice measurement diameters between each size and positioning, just so we get like an even range. Alright, so now we've done that, we want to readjust these here. So we're going to take this side piece out, and we want to kind of clean it up a little bit and glue it down so we don't have it going anywhere. So we want to keep it firmly in place. So we're going to put a little bit of glue there. We've got the hot glue gun out, so we're going to squirt a bunch across here. And you want to do both ends. So you want to do the top and then the bottom edge. So put a bunch across there. That looks about right. And now we want to squeeze it back in. Keep that edge against the side, just kind of holding it. You don't need to go too crazy with glue. You can see there how it sits. So now we've got that. We want to put a little bit more on there just to hold down. Now this is where we want to kind of get the shelves in, but we've got to kind of clean these ends up a little bit so we're not putting too much pressure on the ends to stretch out so the middle shelf can sit in nicely as well. So we're going to kind of clean these back across here and take that diagonal edge off, kind of make it a bit more flatter across the whole end. So we'll just snip that across here like so, and you'll see it's a little bit more flatter. It gives you more surface space as well when you're putting the glue down against the edge. So we're going to get that in there and line that up where we had that, but it's a bit stubborn. It's kind of pushing. It kind of have a bit of room, but it's, like I say, you don't want to have too much tension where it's pushing too much, but then not enough where it's not going to sit up against the edge. And, you know, because again, we're going to need to glue these in. So let's look about right there. It's not too bad. So I'm going to run some glue across the gap and the edge between this side and the other side. So let's get a bit in there now. There we go. Now we'll do the other end as well. Straight, sure, make sure it stays straight, lined up with our spots. I'm going to put a glue across there as well. So it's a little bit, like I said, you don't want to get too crazy, just enough to kind of keep it all in position, stop it from sliding around moving. Alright, so now we're going to do the next one, and again, we want to kind of line this up, make sure it sits in nicely and slides in fairly well. Again, trimming the edges if need be. It sits fairly okay in there, like so. Make sure we have it lined up to our marks. I'm going to double check, make sure the center isn't stretched out too far, and it's sitting pretty level. Looks fairly close. Alright, so let's get that in there. And now we're going to try and glue. We want to glue this one down as well. But try not to have it move. You know, keep it level, keep it flat. Because you could easily put these in diagonally as well, and then you have too much of a lean. So you don't want to have that as an issue. So I'll glue the other side as well. So both sides are nice and glued. And then last one here, we're going to trim that edge off so it's again nice and flush. Give a nice horizontal flat surface like so, and then we're pretty good. So get a bit of glue on it, either end. We'll slide that in there, get it level, make sure it's nice and snug. We've got a little bit of excess spider webbing of the glue. Alright, now we're just going to put that there. So we're just going to go across both sides here. I'm going to glue them in now, so I'm going to glue that. Get nicely in there. Make sure it sits nice. Got a little bit excess in the bottom there. It's kind of splodged out. Move that out, kind of picking at it. It's kind of made a mess. So go over it again, kind of glue it up. Make sure it's all nice and filled, so it's holding in. Going to go across the top side as well, just to be safe. Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. So it's up to you if you want to do just the bottom. We could do both sides, or you could do across every edge if you wanted to. It's all up to you on how you feel. You think you're confident with the shelf staying in place, and depending on how many things you might have on it, if it's going to be too heavy or not. It's one of those things. So we're going to put the backpack on, so we're going to have a better look now that's all in place, and it's going to start setting. And we can kind of see that it's a lot more backly lined up again, no gaps. It's not stretched out too far, so looks pretty good. I was quite impressed with how that's actually looking. That's really cool. Bit messy, you can see a bit of the glue, but that's alright, not too big of an issue. But that's it there, looks pretty cool. It looks pretty nice so far, but we're going to add a little bit more details. So we're going to put a backing to the backboard here, so it's not just plain brown. We're going to, one of these little sticky foam tile thingy-madoobies, we're going to put that on, and this is kind of tricky because we're going to try and line it up, and yeah, so we're going to peel this off here, try and find an end I can peel. I bought these for the wall, but they're kind of horrible, and I didn't know what to do with them, so I was like, I might use them for this. So luckily it came in handy because I got a whole bunch of them. Get this off. It's there we go. Oh, so it's just all right. So we're gonna line this up. I'm gonna get it like kind of straight as we can on it. Kind of cover it because it's actually perfect size, but it's just trying to stick it. It's like applying a screen protector to a phone. It's you got to get it right. Flatten it out, put it on there, make sure there's no bubbles, make sure we're nice and straight on there. Alright, so now we've got that on there. Give it a kind of make sure it's all flat down. I'm going to go around, trim off the edges, and get all the excess bits that are hanging around off of it and out of the way. So let's just go around now and trim that off. Trim the fat, as we may put it. It's only a little bit, but it's still something. Now the top part's the most of it, so let's try and get into there and try and cut in parts because it's very sticky and it's just kind of annoying to take off to segments. So it doesn't look the best per se when you look at it on the other side, but it's not going to matter too much because it is in the backing of the box. So let's get the frame and put that on there now. So let's put that on and over it. And it actually looks pretty good. Blend it in. So let's try and get that in there properly. Slide it in. So it's getting caught on the little tabs again, but there we go. All right, so here we are. Looks pretty good, pretty neat. The white cleans it up nicely. And now we're done for the big reveal. Here we go. Do. That's it there. Pretty neat. I actually like that. It's very impressive. What you can do with it. It's pretty fun. Till next time. Bye bye.